everybody, it's Ian. I'm back again to show you how to add the Romaji to the Japanese OTO. And this time my stupid fucking face isn't blocking all of the important shit in Separam. Sorry about that, guys. Obviously, you don't want to go down and duplicate and rename every single fucking line because there's like, what, 1800 whatever lines in this OTO. But there's a shortcut that you can use to make this whole process a lot more painless. So if I open my setparam copy and paste number sets notepad that I had open for the last few streams, you'll notice that I added this bit at the bottom that's sort of meant to guide you through this process and to guide myself through this process because I'm not smart. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna, you just click the word, if you just click the word alias, it selects the whole column. So we're gonna copy that into, I use Google Docs for this. You can use pretty much anything to do this as long as it has a find and replace option. So we're gonna paste all of those into here, and then we're gonna hit Control H to open find and replace. Now, the key to this is you can't just go around finding and replacing things indiscriminately because you're really gonna fuck yourself up with like symbols like these where it's actually it's actually two characters. So the key to this is to be very careful and to do it in a very specific order. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna scroll down and do all of the CCBs, so all of the BYs and DYs and whatever else I put into this rec list. I don't remember. And again, the easiest way to just make sure that you don't miss anything is to just scroll down and watch as you're doing it. So we're gonna start with, and again, you really ought to get the Japanese IME if you don't have it. It will make your life a lot easier, and make sure you check match case, and obviously Google Docs uses that specific range automatically, so that's not an issue. And then you see it changes 7 instances, and you can tell if you've made a horrible mistake by whether it shouldn't go above 8. It should always be 6 to 8 instances. If it goes up to like 14 or 16, you've done something wrong. And so obviously the main advantage to this is that we're changing it 7 lines at a time instead of just 1. And so the reason we've got to do these first is because this is actually 2 characters. So there's the character for he, and then a small version of the character for ya. So if we do, like, for example, if we were just going through and not paying attention, if we did he first without doing all of these, well, I think you can imagine. I think you can imagine what would go wrong. And the reason that I mean, you could do this in basically any sort of text editing program. I chose Google's spreadsheet thing through Google Docs just because it has plenty of undos and I'm exceptionally clumsy. Like if you do it in just the notepad has like a total undo count of 1. So if you royally fuck yourself and you don't realize until later, it's not gonna be good. Alright, and then now that that's done, before we scroll back up and move on, we want to do the W's and the Y's because they have E's and U's in their hiragana, and that will make things bad if you forget to do them before the vowels. Alright, and so from here, there's just a few more exceptions that I want to go over real quick, because from here it's pretty straightforward. You just go through and you know, substitute each symbol for the hiragana, except for this symbol right here, the wo, because we already have wo aliased differently, so this is just a duplicate of o. And so having 2 doesn't make any sense. Don't bother, just leave it alone. The other thing is, don't change the hiragana n, because that's the only way that you differentiate the transition to the syllabic vowel form from a VC, is by just leaving it in the hiragana form. Other things that are worth noting is you want to do, so if we go down here to like cha, since every CH symbol is chi and then another symbol, you want to make sure you do chi last in this thread. Likewise for the SHs, the Js, any consonant where the hiragana works like this, you need to do that last. And then the other thing is for symbols like D and do that don't exist in standard hiragana, you need to do those first before you do the rest of the Ds. So like I need to do D before de, and I need to do before do. Does that make sense? And likewise for T and other things like the Fs, you need to make sure you do all of the English F sounds before you do the Japanese F sound, or you'll really screw yourself over. Basically, it's just things like that. So like, and you can see I've written all of these notes here in my little note to self. So this won't actually take too long, so I'm just gonna get it done, and then we're gonna resume after I finish, because we're not entirely done with just after the find and replace. All right, back. Yeah, that didn't take any time at all. So, just a couple of notes on some of the more unusual aliases. The ZH ones are the katakana for J, and the L's are the katakana for R, and the NG ones are the katakana for K, which I know is gonna be hard to remember, but I kind of just... It makes sense if you don't think about it. So now that we've gone through and we've converted all of these aliases to Romaji, or at least all of the ones that need converting, we're gonna select the whole thing, copy it, and then go back into setparam and paste it over the alias column. Now this is the part where you have to pay attention. Do not save over the old OTO, or you won't have your hiragana aliases anymore. So when we go to File, Save Voice Configurations, we want to save it as something different than OTO.ini. So I'm going to save it as Romaji.ini. Save. And then we close setparam. And we'll open the OTO that we just made, the Romaji one. And we'll also open the regular OTO. And we're going to take the Romaji one, copy it, and put it on the bottom. So scroll all the way down to the bottom of this text file for OTO.ini and paste it into the bottom. And then save. And then what we're going to do, so that we don't have a bunch of copies of whatever we didn't convert, so all of the VCs and all of the, like, and whatever else. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it through number duplicate aliases again, which I think I will find eventually. Yeah, so we're going to basically do the same thing we did when we made the base OTO, which is take this jar file. You need Java for this. Take the jar file, paste it into here, and run number duplicate aliases. Windows 0, done. And then delete all 3 of these files. Don't empty your recycle bin until you're absolutely sure you haven't done anything fucked up. And then we just change the name back to OTO. And so now we'll have all of the aliases that we actually OTO'd, and then we'll also have all of the Romaji aliases without any copies that resulted from us basically pasting the OTO in there twice. And that's really all there is to it. It's actually pretty simple. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Good luck with the system.